Hello, and welcome back to Code and Cloud, the podcast where we explore the intersection of technology and strategy for modern digital projects. I am Rauno, and today I'm proud to host App Development Today, Hype, Reality, and Trade-off. In a world of grand architecture plans, a relentless cycle of game-changing new tools, what does it actually take to get the job done? After having discussed about architecture and technological trends, today we get real about the daily decision, compromise, and challenges facing developers right now. To help us navigate the topic, I'm very happy to introduce you our guest speaker for today, Dimitri Gianni, mobile product design and software engineer. Hi, Dimitri.
Hi.
Hi, Dimitri. So, first of all, thanks a lot for accepting our invite and welcome to Code and Cloud. Do you want to say just a few words to present yourself to our audience?
Yeah, thank you, Rauno, for inviting me. Pleased to be here. I am Dimitri Gianni, and I am a freelance and indie developer. And my main job is to help startups and companies to design and build digital solutions.
Uh, Thanks for you for accepting and being here with us today. And what you've done is really interesting. It's really what we want to discuss today. So, talking with someone that is not only designing the solution, but is also involved when things comes into implementation. So, something as I from the strategy that we were talking with the other guest speaker before, going into the actual working on the keyboards in creating the real activity. We've discussed the high-level strategy and architecture, but how does those grand vision, like for example, adopting micro front-end architecture or adopting a multi-cloud strategy, actually impact a developer's daily workflow? What's an example of a strategic choice that made your life as a developer generally better, or on the other side, something that was adding as a frustrating complexity to your job?
Personally, I don't believe there are right or wrong choices based on the architectural strategies, but I believe that could be wrong choices based on the project's goals or based on the team that they're working on. For example, you might decide to adopt a microservices structure when the underlying infrastructure is too complex, and this kind of choice may complicate the task. These mistakes that can be made when you analyze the project and attempt to use inappropriate or preferred technologies. My personal solution is to leave preferences behind and make decisions based on the goals of the project.
So something that is really more into the project itself. So mm, going through the hype cycle that we always see about this new game-changing framework, new language, new tool that are always announced. They are always coming into our daily life when we observe the market around us. How does, as a developer that is on the ground, is asked to create actual project, can distinguish between what is a genuine innovation and what is instead a passing hype? What's your personal filter for deciding when to invest time into learning something new versus sticking with the trusted, established technology that you already know in order to get your job done?
And this is a great question, and that it all depends on the kind of person you are as a developer. I can tell you my approach, but is my way. It comes from years of hype and experiences. My first rule is to stay away from technologies that are too new. In most cases, studying them in early adoption is a waste of time because generally can happen two things. The first one is that the project of the new technology fails after a short while, abandoned from the creator or the community. And the second is that the project is too immature and will change so much in a short time, and you have to start learning from scratch again and again. Of course, you always need to stay alert for the new technologies. You need to know what it is and how it works, but you need to think about it. And for me, the main rules is always to use well-established technologies that I master. Okay, I truly master. But it's not just for me. It's for the project and for the customer. I've seen many projects fails because of the use of the true new technologies or technologies that are rarely used.
Yeah, the project that fails because you select something just because it says cool and it's new, it's brand new, but it's not really fit for what you need in that specific project or in the context. So as we said also already in other session with other guest speaker, you are putting again back the importance about the fact that as usual, context is the king. So you need to know if it is the right context or not. And this can let me think about the art of the compromise. Let's call it this way. So development of a new project or a product is a constant series of trade-off: speed versus quality, innovation versus stability, writing clean code versus meeting the deadlines that are important and critical for the business. So can you share some example on your experience of something that you could consider as a, let's say, a good compromise that you had to make? What are the key principles for making pragmatic decision under the pressure of having something to deliver, something that has to provide the value for your customer, for the end user, for the business you're working on, and making this decision without accumulating overwhelming technical debt?
As I said before, my basic rule is always to use proven technology and the ones I know very well. This allows me to have the maximum control of the project, guaranteed stability, and being able to satisfy the customer. That said, however, it doesn't mean there is no room for new technologies. Uh, let's take the mobile applications and Apple ecosystem. We've moved from Objective-C to Swift, and we'll move from UIKit to Swift UI maybe. But the first stable version of Swift arrives after years, and we still are waiting for a stable and decent version of Swift UI. So this is why it's important to maintain the code with a stable technology, and at the same time experiment with new technologies to be prepared when the big step is needed. The use of new technologies must be considered carefully, especially for products that they are used from thousands or millions of people.
Yeah, you need to consider always the what you're doing has an impact. So I really like the point you raised. So I mean, as people that lives in the technology space, we used to, I say, fall in love with the new things, with the new architecture, with the new technology. But you raise an important point, that is what we do at the end is to create a product that has to be used by thousands or even millions of people if you're lucky enough to work on such important project as you had to. And that is a responsibility. You have to create something that works. You have to create something that is stable enough for the people to use it, because they don't care about the technology you're using. They care about what they can do with the product. Working on building the product, working on the development itself, there's a lot of talking in the recent years about developer experience. So we all know the term related to user experience. So how things are designed in a way that who use the application, who use the product, can use it in a best way. But recently, there's also a lot of talking about the developer experience. So the importance about how the developers can approach and work in creating and managing the project. So this is something that goes behind what is fast build time or good tooling. What does a great developer experience, or DX, meant for you personally? What is the one thing to be in a tool or a process or a cultural aspect that has the most significantly reduced friction and brought you joy back on into the coding? Because at the end, the developer has to work in the best way possible in order to produce a good result, a good product.
Okay, this is a good question. I have a funny mindset about it. I think a developer's experience should translate into wisdom. For me, an excellent developer is one who understands that the code is written primarily for humans and secondarily for computer. This is because the is the humans that need to read, learn, understand, and write the code. And then in a second part, the code will be um, converted in bits for the computer, and the computer understand only bits. So we need to understand the code. This is a great truth that the concept I talked about is the great truth that is learned from the experienced developer over the time, and it leads to wild choice during the days. A wisdom developer understand which technology to use, how to write code, how to comment it, and etc. And this is the best thing can do. An experienced developer reflects every day on all of these points before doing the job, making the decision. For me, the question we should ask to ourselves is who is better, a fast developer that knows many technologies and many tools, or a wise developer?
I think I will take this way of say for you because I uh, really like it. So this concept of not senior but wise developer, I think it really picture the role perfectly. You mentioned writing code for humans, so the human aspect and in the technology. So in this area, let's talk about sustainable development for human. So given the constant pressure to learn, to deliver, to operate in complex system, we've been talking in the past episodes about distributed system, micro services, micro front-end system architecture that make the overall system very complex to picture out and to manage and to work into it. What is the most critical ingredient for a long-term, suitable, and sustainable career in software development today? Is it mastering a specific technology, developing the soft skill, or learning how to effectively manage your own energy and avoid burnout? That is one of the most recurrent issue for high performance developers from what I see with the colleagues and friends I've been talking to.
For me, soft skills are the most important, not just professionally, but in life. Also, I recommend to work on soft skill to everyone. Personally, I try to avoid working under pressure. I say every day, I'm not a doctor. I'm not in an
Yeah,
operation room. Stay calm.
yeah,
So um, I don't want to get too philosophical, but aside from rare cases, I don't think there any need of work under pressure, especially with our work as developers. Okay. However, in that case, um, it means the person managing the project maybe is not doing their job very well, because there is no need, not really need to be under pressure during the work. So my general approach is to be as vertical as possible. Being highly skilled in a specific technology or sector is much more important for me. This don't mean that you shouldn't have horizontal skills. Let's take an example for an iOS developer as me. It's important to have backend or database or design and graphical skills, because these are important for have the right context during the work, to talk with the colleague and other developers, to have the real context of your project outside of your skills, outside of your daily routine. Okay, of course, study more technologies takes much time, and the time is very short. So you need to have much passion, dedication, and a lot of patience to learn what you need.
Yeah, passion is definitely critical in our work because of this continuous learning that we need. I'll try to summarize some of the key elements of keywords that I took while listening to you while you were talking, so that you can then correct me or amend or add on those. So what I have taken as notes from your previous answer, on one side, last thing you said, very important, the importance of the soft skill among the hard skills. So the technical skill, okay, we need them, but we need to have the soft skill to understand the context, understand the business, understand the relationship with the other people. When it comes to technology, wait before embracing the new trend. It may fade away very soon, or it may change so quickly that it would force you for a second learning curve. So try to analyze, to judge what is coming out, and understand if it's something mature enough or promising enough that is valuable to spend a learning curve to start learning it, or if it's better to wait for it to stabilize and see if it remain or will change before having to learn it multiple times, because it transforms multiple times. When it comes to build up your project or product, always remember that the goal is a business goal first and not directly a technology-driven solution. So use proven technology that you truly master, and don't misvalue the importance of vertical skill. There's a lot of talking about horizontal skill, but vertical skill are really critical in order to be able to achieve the actual results. And finally, never stop learning and studying. You are never too senior or too skilled. And what I really like the way you describe it is, don't have at a target to be a senior developer, but to be a wise developer. So wise developer is a developer that write code for humans, that knows that the code that you write is something that another human being will have to read it and amend it. And so it has to be something that a human can understand and can use. And that human can even be yourself in the future that need to come back to an old project. So these are the keywords that I took. I don't know if you okay with that, or I missed some important points. So I'll let you just a couple of sentences to wrap up the discussion we just had.
First of all, I want to thank you again for meeting me. And the work of the developer is a truly beautiful and exciting, because it allows you to create something, and it's beautiful. Above all, stay curious and keep exploring.
Thanks. Thanks again, Dimitri, for being with us for this very interesting discussion we just had. So thanks again, Dimitri, and thanks to everyone for listening to Code and Cloud. The conversation doesn't stop here, so please join us on our social account to share your thoughts on today's topics. If you enjoy the show, please subscribe, leave us a review. It will really help others to find us, but it will also really help us to understand if we are doing things right, if we're doing in the right direction, if we are covering subjects that are of interest for you. Be sure to follow us so you don't miss our next episode. We will talk about cloud adoption strategies and multi-cloud solution with an old friend of mine, a senior solution architect at a major hyperscaler, and a person that has more than 20 years of experience in the field of hosting, infrastructure services before the cloud came, and then helping raising the cloud computing world as we know it today. Until next time, keep your code clean and your cloud scalable. And as we used to say here at Newesis, be professional and have fun. See you next time.